Hi, my name is Logan Elmer, and this is my VEM competency video. The first industry professional that I contacted was Andrew Reiner. He could be really important to my network since he's the second in command at Game Informer, and that's a magazine that I one day hope to work at, and he could teach me a lot about being a writer. He told me that I need to learn more about classic games. He also said that I need to improve my vocabulary a lot. He also recommended that I practice my writing as well. He studied writing while he was in college and opened up the magazine Game Informer with the current editor-in-chief, Andy McNamara. He's been in the industry ever since and has learned much from it. He worked at Funkoland while he was in college as well. Tim Turry was the second that I contacted, and he would greatly benefit my network since he used to work at Game Informer. He also works at Capcom currently, so that could be of great use to me as well. It would also benefit me to have another writer in my network. He taught me to take my time in writing. He also told me that I need to research things so I don't look like a fool when I'm writing about a specific topic. Finally, he recommended that I read a lot of books so that I have a greater knowledge of a popular culture that's not as used anymore. He started working at a restaurant while he was attending college, and while he was at college, he actually didn't study anything to do with video games. He just studied social studies, or social sciences, sorry, and actually got an internship at Game Informer, which led to him actually becoming an editor there. After working there for several years, he ended up working at Capcom as a manager of their social networking division. And the third professional that I contacted was Colin Moriarty. And Colin is very important as he used to work at IGN, which is another game site that I would love to work at. He also co-owns the Kind of Funny company with fellow former IGN member Greg Miller, who would be another great addition to my network. Plus, he's been in the industry a long time, so I'm sure he would have lots of advice for me. He taught me to not always take things at face value and always dig deeper. And he also taught me to inspect things more closely, such as trailers and teasers, as you can learn a lot from them. Finally, he told me to never be afraid to take risks and go with your gut. He attended college for game journalism, and he worked for his college newspaper while attending school. His first industry job was at IGN, and he worked there until recently. He then started his own gaming channel on YouTube with Greg Miller and is currently working there. And so we're moving on to the personal networking with here at Full Sail. And the first student that I contacted was Jordan Rommel. And Jordan could be very important to my career, since he's planning on going into either game journalism like myself or being an actual video game writer. It's always nice to have friends in the industry and always have an inside word on things. You could potentially work on a magazine article together. It's also possible that we could collaborate on a game story at some point in the future. We could also work at the same company in the future too, as well. Jordan said that if he could have a choice, he would want to work at IGN or Game Informer as well, so that's kind of cool. He said he wants to be a games journalist or writer. Finally, he said he had an interest in writing for Bethesda at some point, which seems like something I could really get behind myself, although I don't know how good I would be at it. I don't think I really connected with Jordan on a personal level. This is mainly due to the platform that we are communicating on. I find it hard to connect with people over the internet and prefer to talk to people in person, although I think we would get along great in person and maybe we will meet someday. The second person I contacted was Brittany Fletcher. And while we don't really work in similar circles, Brittany could help me learn a lot about editing photos and videos. She could be very important if I needed help with these types of tasks. In general, though, I don't know if she would be very important to my career in the grand scheme of things. She could help me write magazine articles. Also, she could teach me how to crop and fit photos into my magazine. I could also help her learn how to get good shots of video games if she ever wanted to work at a magazine, although I doubt it. We have a desire to work in the freelance. We both have a desire to work in the freelance market after graduating. We both also want to work at a magazine or website. Finally, we both want to learn more about editing photos and videos. I don't think we really connected on a personal level. We are in different fields of study, so we don't really have a lot in common. She seems like a great person, but I don't think we would really talk outside of classes. And the final student that I contacted was Philip Dolozzi, I think. Philip could be very vital to my career. He's also interested in games writing, so it would be good to have another connection within the industry. While we are specialized in different areas of games writing, we could definitely benefit from one another. In the future, if he's working on a game, I could possibly interview him about a game. He could give me some advice on how to properly show off a game in writing form so as not to misinterpret what the game is supposed to be about. I don't think we really connected, As I said earlier, it's hard for me to connect with people over the internet. Phil still seems like a nice person, and it's nice to have another person in the industry that I know. I'm sure if we met in real life, we would get along great. It was a fine experience. It went pretty much how I expected. Everyone was friendly and cooperative. I feel that I made some friends that will really help me in the future. And some things that I could do to improve my networking experience is maybe make myself more willing to communicate over the internet. We live in a time when meeting in person isn't as important as it used to be, and what that makes me sad is the way that it is. I should probably get to know more than 3 people as well. And these are my definitions of the internet, of the 3 industries. Creative writing is the only industry out of these 3 that can be self-sustained. While it definitely has its place in the industries such as video games and movies, authors in this industry can make a living by just by writing books and the like. Filmmaking is the one industry out of the 3 that gets the most recognition. It also relies on the other 2 the most. The filmmaking industry needs creative writing to fuel its scripts, and it needs media communications to get all of their ads and information out of the public through magazines or ads, whatever. And the media communications is similar to creative writing in that it is more self-reliant. Since media communications is primarily ad work and distribution information about the project, they can do pretty much whatever the industry wants. All these industries are connected through the filmmaking industry. Filmmaking takes the script or whatever else they need from creative writing industry and makes it into a movie. Then the media communications industry can put that into a magazine or put it on commercials or put it on a blog site or what have you. I hope you enjoyed my VEM speech and have a good day.